Yeah, we are keeping a very close eye on radar, and we started off this morning sunny. Now we've got a lot of clouds popping up across the area. We're getting that daytime heating, and we're getting the instability starting to build. Now we have seen some showers and storms north of the lake and really up towards Macomb. Notice we've got another band of showers starting to push into the northern parts of the Florida parishes. So that's going to be the first thing we see over the next probably hour or so. And you see it's already moving towards Kentwood, eventually getting down towards Amite, Independence, and maybe even towards Hammond. Now this is really just producing some downpours with some sporadic lightning and maybe a gust every now and then, but it has remained sub-severe, meaning the winds are not to that 58-mile-per-hour criteria. Here's a track for you. If it can maintain itself, it is weakening, by the way. It'll continue to move towards the southeast, about 45 miles per hour. Notice your timeline into Amite around 12:30 or so. If it can survive to Hammond, about 1 to 105, and then maybe even down towards the lakefront closer to 130. But I think it's going to struggle to get that far south. And if it does get that far south, it'll probably be fairly weak. Now, what we're going to be watching here more on the south shore is kind of the back end of this. I think this will be our main player later on this afternoon as it continues to move towards the south and east. So we'll be keeping an eye on this line. It's remained sub-severe as well, but it could certainly move into a more favorable environment with all the instability we've seen build over the morning into the early afternoon. So we'll still be weather aware. Our severe weather threat is still at a level 2 out of 5, and if you're watching this morning, they have trimmed it back some just simply because we saw the rain move north and through Macomb, Hattiesburg earlier. That helped stabilize the air up there. Whereas down here south of the lake and even just north of the lake, we haven't seen any rainfall. So still dealing with some instability building up. Time frame mainly early afternoon north of the lake, and then we'll get into the later afternoon and evening here in the New Orleans area. The temperatures are warm here in New Orleans. We're at 84 at the airport, 83 at the lakefront. We've got 70s on the North Shore. Look at Macomb, 64. That's that rain cool air, 69 in Bogalusa. So this is where all the energy is built up. So we will have some energy for these storms to use later on this afternoon and evening. That's why we're thinking we could still see some high wind gust. That is the main threat, by the way. So hour by hour showing as we go to 2, 3 o'clock, some of those stronger storms getting into the North Shore. This is behind that round we're seeing right now, by the way. Notice also seeing some stronger storms towards Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, and Lafayette by 4 to 5 o'clock. And that's when they'll start to inch closer and closer towards the South Shore. Also notice they're weakening as they head in our direction. So that's why the severe weather threat's not very high today, is because we do expect this line to gradually weaken, and then we'll probably just have some hit or miss strong storms as it pushes through New Orleans later on this afternoon. Now by 11 o'clock, midnight or so, just some lingering showers south of the lake, and that's going to be the story through tonight, even through Saturday as well. So I think we will have a few showers through Saturday morning, especially south of the lake, and maybe even going into the afternoon hours, and it does look fairly cloudy throughout your Saturday. The tornado threat, I didn't mention that earlier, but it is very, very low. It does include North Shore, really, just kind of this narrow band. We're not expecting any violent, widespread tornadic activity. We just really don't have the setup for it, but you can't rule out a spin-up tornado when you get these little lines of severe thunderstorms moving on through. Also something you're going to notice today, the winds, they are howling out of the south. We're gusting to 21 at the airport, 20 at Galliano, 21 at Gulfport. So we've got a strong southwesterly to southerly wind, and that's really not associated with the storms. But as those storms move through, you could see some higher wind gusts with the stronger ones. Now behind that, we're going to have some colder air moving in behind this cold front. Lower 70s for the highs for your Saturday, upper 70s for your highs on Sunday. We'll get back into the 80s as we go into next week, and then we're looking at the mid 80s by Wednesday and Thursday. So your 7-day forecast, other than this afternoon and evening, make sure you're staying weather aware. Not a bad 7-day. Maybe some showers Saturday morning with the clouds kind of lingering. And then for Mother's Day on Sunday, a lot of sunshine, highs in the upper 70s. And then we'll see the lower 80s going into next week with the return of humidity Wednesday and Thursday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.